Whoa. It's the illusion reporting from somewhere on space ship Earth. It is a crisp fall day here in the Southern Sierras. I'm having my morning cup of Paraplegic brand coffee. And man, life's a trip. So I went on a little surfing excursion the other week, which was a lot of hard work, a lot of ocean activity. And then you kind of come back into life and it's sort of complicated. It always seems like when you kind of step away and sort of get some clarity for a minute and you come back into life, it's more complicated than when you left. I don't know why that is. Maybe that's just my experience. So coming back again, it was just trying to get the Rubik's Cube of life, all the sides aligned, getting back to the scrambled cube. Went surfing, had maybe 3 sides of the cube aligned, and got back and the cube got down to no sides aligned for a moment. And so a lot of this for the last couple days, and a certain amount of chaos, and just trying to keep rowing the lifeboat for the horizon. And so sometimes it's all a bit much. It just seems like there's just obstacles and chaos everywhere, and there's really no respite from it. I remember my most recent spiritual advisor, Melissa, was telling me, we were laughing about how there's no days off. There's no days off when you get to a certain point of understanding this lower dimensional reality. There's just no days off. It's a constant motion. It's sort of like being a shark. You have to keep moving or you'll die. And so the new set of challenges arrived that were exponential growths on the old challenges, and sometimes you just don't know where to start, where to begin, what to do, how to do it. Kind of clueless. And then last night, a weird divine intervention occurred. So I got a phone call yesterday, and I was busy in life's chaos, feeding the animals, dealing with chaos, and I didn't pick up. And then later that night, I got a DM from a friend of mine saying that there was a memorial paddle out for one of my best friends who died three months ago. And so I was looking through my phone to see when, because I'd talked to him right before he died, and I was trying to find, verification of that for my own, just the timeline. And I noticed that his wife had called me, was the person who had called me earlier that day. And so I called her back, and we laughed a lot last night talking about my friend. And my friend was one of those, a renegade. in no uncertain terms, a renegade. A warrior born at the wrong era type of thing. Like should have been a leader of a Scythian army or a Roman legion or a Mongol horde. Just a gnarly dude. And yet underneath this super gnarly guy was someone who really cared about people in a specific way. And I was sitting there, because I don't get into the grieving of death type of thing. It's part of life. It's when you pass. So I was sitting there and I was like, wow, show's over for my friend. And it's good. He was struggling a lot at the end. He had a bunch of struggles. Like any good warrior, he had a bunch of struggles with this lower dimensional reality. So, his wife was telling me, like, we were both laughing at just like the struggle's over. He's home. He went home. And so I was sitting there, and it reminded me of that this isn't over, that it's time to double down. It's time to fully commit one more time to this lower dimensional experience. And that, this was a friend of mine who fully embraced my sobriety, who was one of my people that towards the end looked out for me, but who struggled, couldn't get it together. And we'd always check in because, he was like, you got out. Like, for those who know, to get out of the struggle of addiction and chaos, just getting out of that in this lifetime is such a gnarly achievement. And then all along the way, to have gotten out of the city, to have gotten out of the matrix, to have broken free of the polarized mind conditioning. We used to have big talks about the status of what's going on here. And, he was still kind of trapped in the polarized battle for freedom, if you will. And he used to check in with me about, life here, homesteading, and like, you got out, man, you made it out. And so I was thinking about all that as jumped out of the frying pan into the fire, kind of, so to speak, because this isn't easy on any level. And I don't know if this is the hard part, or it's just life in general. Being a husband, a father, a son, a human being, a seeker. Sometimes I sit and just wish that I'd never been given the opportunity to wake up and seek, right? Just join the mindless hordes of narcissistic, self-aggrandizing pleasure seekers, right? Just ukuleles down by the beach, talking about surfboard shapes and having no real deeper thought about the struggle of trying to find contentment and harmony in this madness down here. And so I think I got to the end of the phone call with my friend's wife last night, and was like, okay, it's going to be okay. Because I keep thinking that this transition, that there's some like bookends to the transition that's been this life, moving out of that into this, going to that. And the transition is just ongoing. I sort of do think that at some point, like if you row long enough, you will hit the shoreline. And it's realizing that we're still way out in the middle of the ocean rowing. And every now and then a big storm comes up and blows us off course, and then you gotta pick your oars back up and start rowing again. And so I think that is the like one struggle I would share with anyone who's trying to do this thing is, I don't think it's ever supposed to really come to a conclusion. I think the conclusion is just your friends are laughing about your funny memories when you finally have passed away. That's the end of the transition, right? You went back home, and hopefully you got enough knowledge not to want to do this again. And as much as beautiful and cool as it is, sometimes it's super hollow. Sometimes the trying to achieve some sort of depth and understanding and meaning to this life just comes out to be just a hollow void. You know, when I think about the mountains don't care, right? Or I think about the intricacies of the web of life that a bumblebee holds together, and just how that can only be God. And then sometimes I sit there and I look at that mastery, that wonder, and I go, what's the point? Why all that effort? What is it? And I think that hollowness of it all is the fear, right? The fear of investing all this time and energy into something that ultimately is so simple that it makes the effort to get to it just seem futile. It's because right at the end of the day, it's God is real and God loves you, and this is the proof. And if we could only be simple enough to embrace that, but we complicate it with there's got to be something more, there's got to be something more, there's got to be something more out there, and it's all right here. And yet it's this battle. It's this battle, the trees battling for sunlight, the war of the trees, man. And so, yeah, I don't really have that. It's funny. I was laughing with my friend's wife last night. I guess I was like, there's not many left now. We're at that age where everyone's dropping out, man. And I guess my job is to carry on and to actually go for it. To go for it in the realest way. and I have no idea what that means or what that is. So if I sit here and I go, what's today? So today is a day getting ready. There's a storm coming in like 2 days for a lot of rain. So I need to make sure all the animals have watertight shelters. I got a couple new pieces of art I'm starting. I had to do a live stream. World War III is afoot. The end. Oh, sometimes I was checking in with my fear porn, and they were like, "Oh my God, Russia's launched the first ICBMs in modern warfare," and I was like, "Can this just be the end today?" Like sometimes that's where I get with it all. I go, that's how I know that it's all fake, because there's no easy way out. There's no easy way out. There's not going to be some big bonus like everybody's out, game over. It's the struggle is to get up every day again and be like grateful for the day we're in, and grateful for the toil, grateful for the trudge of happiness, and grateful for the chaos and madness, because it is like, smell the leather, right? The gift of life is the gift of knowing you're alive by the actual depth of the struggle. Without the struggle, what would be the point? It's with on the final note here as I go along, if you help a butterfly out of the chrysalis, you kill it. The reason the butterfly transforms from the caterpillar to the beautiful butterfly is the struggle of breaking out of the chrysalis. Without the struggle, you can't become the butterfly. And sometimes the struggle is so daunting, because I don't think the butterfly is sitting there thinking about the deeper meaning of being a butterfly and what it meant to be a caterpillar, and oh my God, and this is so hard, and this and that. I think it's just doing, and I think that is the folly of us, and the struggle of us, is we're thinking the whole time. And even when we're not thinking, we're still thinking by not thinking. It's like, I'm not going to think, so I'm going to meditate out and get into the moment. And even that is just a giant thought in itself. The thought of non-thought. And so it's this instead of just easing into becoming the butterfly, it's this, why am I becoming a butterfly? This is so hard sometimes. And anyway, man, like, subscribe, link down below. You are the Tesla coil. Use the name tags, be kind to one another, man. It's just because you think you have it figured out, most people don't, and they just need some kindness, because at any given moment, any one of us could just drop dead, and then it's game over. So this is the day we have, so let's be grateful for it. Use the name tags, right? All right, it's The Illusion signing off.